What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Music is My Business podcast slash Q&A slash everybody hanging out talking about sync and all of that good stuff, man. Shout out to my Sync Producer Hub community in the building. I see y'all in the member-only chat. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. I want to see what we have in the building. And I'm excited to be back because we weren't here last week because technology. And then, listen, we're back. Also, man, I didn't know if we was going to be here tonight. We had some thunderstorms come through. I'm like, listen, the way this electric grid is set up, tonight might be canceled. P Music Lab in the... Bruh, first off. Listen, every time, Tex just be doing his own thing. You take 1 week off and Tex decides it either wants to be huge. Hold on, I gotta bring it back so I can shrink it. Or it just wants to, sometimes it's like extra tiny for no reason. All right, shout out to TTP Music Lab. Akila is in the building. What's up, Akila? We got Allison Hawkins making dinner, chili cheese hot dogs using the chili I made last night. That is a life hack. That is the only way to stretch some chili. Like, you eat chili 1-2 days maybe, and then that third day it's just like, let's repurpose the chili, turn it into chili dogs. I feel you, Allison. You know how to get it done. We got Larry Brashaw in the building. What's up, Larry? Let me see. We got Lamar. Good to see you. Jason in Canada's in the building. Been a long week. Tired over here. Listen, I feel you. Like, yeah, I feel you. I woke up this morning, had my first cup of coffee, and was still like, bro, this ain't doing nothing. Like, I know I'm tired when the coffee don't even wake me up. Like, I'll literally lay down and just take a nap on coffee. Like, it's nothing. We got Mike Anthony, Compton, Cali in the building. So Cali, Riverside Film and TV Instrumental Cues. Love to see it. Ray Garcia from the Sunshine State. Sunshine State. Chris Butler in Chicago. We got Mike Anthony in school for music production right now. KJ at Lighthouse from St. Louis. What's up? Allison needs to show these chili dogs when they're done. I know, right? You got to bring some for the community. So, first off, speaking of community, we got to check in. We got to check in and see if we got some wins, man. We like to share wins from inside the Sync Producer Hub community. And I believe we have accumulated, a few wins since the last time we hung out. So let's see. We got a win from Vincent. New placement, Top Chef, French TV. Just a few days ago, I shared with you that I get to produce 4 new custom albums for BMG Production Music. A dream comes true. Shout out to BMG. What makes this even more special, it took me years of trying and failing to get in touch with BMG Production Music until finally in 2023, the door opened after releasing my very first project with them, Lost Relics. Things moved quickly, and yesterday I found out that my track, The Shadow, from that album just got placed on Top Chef on French TV, airing on the major channel M6. Hard work, patience, and persistence do pay off. Let's go. That's a win. Love to see it. We got Delara 2XS in the building. I see you. Michael Connor with a string arrangement win. Last week I got a message from one of my music mentors, Luke Smith, amazing musician, MD for George Michael, with a voice note, audio clip, and text to say, call me when you've listened. I'm listening to the song and start to recognize it, only to find out he co-wrote with the singer and produced the song. He's producing a remake of the song and wanted some strings. I'm counting this as a win because he sowed some wisdom into me as a young upcoming musician, and to now be asked to work with him is more like a harvest that he's reaping. That wisdom really gave me confidence when at times I doubted I would get to where I thought I could be. Once completed and released, I'm confident this remake will land a placement somewhere. It has a sting ending. Let's go. May need your thoughts on where it could fit. Love it. Shout out to Michael Connor for the win. Vincent Jewell had another win. Custom brief just in, Major League Publisher. Let me see. Oh, this is I think this was the BMG joint that came. Yeah. I see it. James McGregor with a win. Oh, first off, shout out to James McGregor. Speaking of wins, So we had the March Madness bracket contest inside the Sync Producer Hub. And basically, you create a bracket, you enter it into our like private group, and whoever had the most points at the end of the tournament won a chance to collaborate with me. So shout out to James. He won that bracket challenge. And who was that the one? Was it Florida? That game was crazy. So he won that. So we will be collaborating. He was also a TV placement mastery student, so this should be super duper dope. I'm excited to collaborate with him. I'm gonna see what projects I have on the table, and yeah, we're gonna figure it out and go from there. So excited about that. Congrats to him, and yeah, congrats to everybody who entered that contest. It was some close calls, man. I think it was between him and another producer. Yeah, it could have went either way. It could have went either way depending on who won the game. So yeah, then James had another win. A playlist that he compiled was recently added to a library he pitched a few months ago, 5 to be exact. I did send them a follow-up email, but didn't hear back from them until this weekend. Congratulations, your tracks have been accepted. I can feel a placement coming soon. So boom, there you go. Like the power of follow-up. And then sometimes it's just like timing, bro. Like sometimes it'll be a minute before they get back to you. So shout out to James just sticking with it until they hit him back. Shout out to Kenyon. Him and his wife just closed on the house. It's not a sink, but it's a house. You need the house to make the music to get the sink. So listen. Let's go. Jason Dowdy with a Q1 win. I had 20 new placements in Q1. Most of them came in March. The shows were Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup. That's funny. Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup. All you need now is Love Before Lockup, and you got the complete lineup. El Conde and Dateline NBC. That's huge. I also generated $722 in revenue with my music business. It's not much, but it's proof that it works. That's multiple wins. I love it. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Listen, $722 is like, I mean, I'm sure everybody would take $722 extra dollars straight from music. I mean, shoot, that's enough to buy. You can buy Omnisphere 2 with that. You can buy a lot of things with $722. So shout out to Jason, killing it, man. Hopefully it goes up from there. Miguel, shout out to Miguel. 2 EPs ready. Started the week with 2 Dramedy EPs of 5 tracks, each signed by the same library, making it 10 tracks in total. These are the first 2 EPs of a series of EPs I'll be sending out. Miguel is in EP mode. We decided to make them as EP. His EP is being mentioned a lot as EPs instead of a 10+ album, so that way we can have more releases. That way I keep communication flowing with them. I'm actively submitting music to them. And if they see my name more frequently, I increase chances of them prioritizing my music compared to composers that might not be as active in the library. It's a win. And it's strategic. That's strategicness. No, that's dope. Cause man, sometimes it's really just about being top of mind. Like the person that'll get hit up for like the custom opportunity, or like I've gotten hit up for some things where they was just like, hey, we're considering like, you know, putting together like a few composers for this specific thing. And because they see you all the time, because they hear your music all the time, you're top of mind. So they're like, let's reach out to them. So shout out to Miguel. That's super dope. I love to see it. And yeah, shout out to everybody in the Sync Producer Hub, getting these wins, getting these deals, getting these tracks signed, getting these placements, getting these checks. I love to see it. If you want to learn how to make money with your music by producing and preparing and pitching it for TV and film, go to syncproducerhub.com. Join us, hang out. We're having a good time inside. All right, I'm taking questions, man. Hit me with y'all's questions. I'll be hanging out for a while. Let me know where you're stuck, what you're curious about, and then we'll go from there. If you're new, leave a comment, engage, let us know where you're from and what you do. So yeah, there we go. Palm tree for Miguel. TTP knows what's up. Yeah, so I'm close to locking in a new deal. The hub members know what I'm talking about. They sent over paperwork. I just got to look over it and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, basically got like a couple weeks to knock out a couple tracks. So I'll be working on that and finishing up other projects. Jason Dowdy says, what is the biggest benefit of joining the Production Music Association? I think a couple major benefits is that you stay in a loop. You stay in a loop on what's going on specifically in the world of production music. So they'll bring like a lot of different companies in. Sometimes it can be like international partners and things to just give insight, which I think is really cool. They do like, you know, these coffee hour meetings, which is dope. But I haven't been in one in a minute. I need to like catch up. It's the time. Like I'm usually not available during the time they've been having them. But I think those are really cool. They're really insightful. They bring some cool companies in that like are more like on the tech side. Sometimes they bring publishers in, and then a lot of times on these calls, the second benefit is you're on these calls with publishers who are also affiliated with PMA on the publishing side, and everybody's like mad cool. So like you'll just be in a room or like a breakout room just getting to know each other, and then you know you'll have a publisher just like, hey, you know, right now we're like looking for this. If you guys have anything, shoot it to us. Or hey, we'd love to hear some of your stuff. Shoot it over. And it just happens like organically. So I think those are like two of the major benefits. And then they also have a conference as well that they usually have in like LA, as well as like they may have like smaller events throughout the year too. But yeah, I think those are some of the big benefits of being a member of the PMA. Let's see. Thank you, man. We Create Music TV in the building. What's up? Good to see you. Miguel. Shout out to everybody. Okay, so this past week I went to I was at the Sync Spotlight conference. I was on the producer composer panel, which was dope. Shout out to everybody that was involved with that. Super dope. Got a chance to meet and shake hands with a lot of people that I see on social media and in the community and all over, man. So it was dope to just connect with people. Got a chance to connect with some other peers in the industry. So that was dope. We had a good time. Gems were dropped all day. So yeah, if you were in the building, then you partook in some of those gems. So shout out to the Sync Spotlight. Had a good time there. Ran into We Create Music TV. He was in the building. So Jermaine Michael, new but not new, back in from last April. A lot of technical difficulties, but glad to be back. Located in Arizona. Welcome back, Jermaine. Love to see it. Appreciate that, James. Edward Wada says, do you get an upfront fee for placements in Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu shows? I remember you said the royalties are not much there, but do you get a big upfront? Depends on the situation. So I know for songs, usually if I've gotten like a song licensed on like a Netflix or Apple TV, I have gotten upfront fees for that. That has typically ranged, I think BET Plus as well. BET Plus, I think it was, what was it? It was somewhere between like $300 and $600. Some of the other ones were like between $1,500 to $3,000 upfront. So yes, on the flip side, some of the like instrumental stuff, like you probably won't see upfront sync fees if it's like something that aired on TV first. let's use Keeping Up with the Kardashians for an example, like a real life example that have personally experienced. So I think Keeping Up with the Kardashians, at least the seasons that I've produced music for, I think ended up on Hulu or something like that. I didn't see any upfront fees when it aired on original TV. I think that was just part of like a blanket license thing. So I only get royalties, and those are like pennies, obviously, like I said before. But for like new stuff, new syncs, like say there's like a new movie coming out on Netflix and they license your song or something, then yeah, sometimes you'll see some upfront sync fees for that stuff. 'Cause that's, that'll probably be like the bulk of the money on that type of stuff. Outside of that, then it's just credibility, basically. Producer, songwriter, and can be the artist, but I'm cool with being in the background. I feel you on that. TTP Music Lab says, when you get that creative fog and it's hard to create something new, what types of things that you do that help get those creative juices flowing? Been feeling a little stuck lately. Shoot, I just shut everything down and get outside, man. That's something that I would do. And just like go experience something new. New scenery helps me sometimes. So like I may we may go like take a trip somewhere. I remember once, bro, like we were like literally in the middle of the work day, because my wife was like working here. She had like her office set up here. She left me since about a year ago. She said she went and got her own office and said forget about me, but it's all good. Can't mess with her during the day. But we just like got up one day. It was just like, yo, let's like go to Tybee Island, and we just packed up and just went to Tybee Island and just chilled out on the beach, and we just made a weekend out of it. So we did that. Sometimes just getting away, changing the scenery. New gear helps. New sounds, collaborations, that helps. If somebody starts some drums or starts some melodies, boom, send them off to you. That can get things going. Listening to new music, that helps. Those are some things that I think can help kind of get you out of that creative fog. A brief doing a different style of music. Sometimes I'll just get tired of doing the same thing, so I'll just try something different. So, yep. Jason Dowdy says, do you have any tips on breaking into getting your music into advertising for major brands? Well, like publishers can kind of have a hand in that. Sync agents, I feel like I've seen a lot of ad briefs from sync agents. So maybe, finding more sync agents or what do you call it? Like brand marketing agencies sometimes will work directly with artists. But yeah, I think the first thing I would probably do is just watch a bunch of commercials and just see like what's hot. And then, anytime you see like a brief coming from a publisher or an agent or something like that for ads, just like start going for them and pitching for them. So yeah. All right, we got one from Jermaine. It says, question 1, doing stems. Besides the agent supervisor asking for alternate mixes, drums only, melody 60, etc. When packaging stems, do I do it the same way like for artists as is kick left, kick right, snare left, snare right, etc., or just put kick left and right on stem track? So if we're doing stems for like, a publisher or agent supervisor, just kick stereo, just whatever you have going on with your kick. Like if you got 3 kicks layered, I would just bounce out all 3 kicks as the kick and then just label it kick. Same with the snares. I won't send them like a left snare or right snare. I think it would just be too confusing. But just kick, snare, all stereo files. And I even like for the melodic sounds, if I have it naturally just kind of panned right or panned left, I'll just bounce out the stereo, and then wherever it's panned in the mix, I just leave that there. So, you know, when they drag everything in, like, you know, synth 1 will still be panned to the right or left, and synth 2 will still be panned wherever it was panned. But yeah, just stereo tracks, all alike sounds as one stem, you know, all your snares, snare stem. So I'll do like a kick, snare, clap, hi-hat. I'll put like closed and open hi-hats like all on the same hi-hat track. So yeah, that's how I usually do it. Miguel says, how long does it normally take for royalties to come in though? My first placement was reported as July 2024. Haven't seen the check come in, but at some degree I'm calm because it's in my ASCAP Q sheet. Yeah, that's a great sign that you see the Q sheet. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It should be any quarter now. Was it domestic or was it international? If it's domestic, I say like any quarter now. If it's international, may take a little bit longer. It just depends. But usually domestic is like, it can be between 6 to 9 months after the TV film company turns in Q sheets and stuff. So yeah, hopefully you see it sooner than later. I ain't even get my royalty check. Like I was supposed to get one like shoot, last week. But I think, you know what I think happened? I had updated like my direct deposit info. I think like the same week it was supposed to come out. I think I screwed it up. So I gotta hit up my PRO like, by the way, I never got this check I'm used to getting every quarter. So I gotta look into that because I think I screwed it up. It's like stuck or something. Question 2, when having the transition effects or percussion, should you put that on the percussion stem or a stem by itself? If it's percussion, I'll put it on a percussion stem. If it's a transitional effects, I create an effects stem. I'll do like SFX or even FX, one of those. But effects and percussion I usually have on like 2 different stems. Depending on what it is, because I could also have like, okay, say for like some R&B stuff, I like to use chimes as a transitional sound, right? So my chimes and some type of cymbal swell, technically that's still like percussion. So, but it's like a transition effect, but I would label it as percussion. So I guess it depends on what you're doing. What's up, Gerald? Maximus is in the building. What's up, Maximus? Allison says, keep the idea of play in mind and remember being a kid and just having fun and play with the idea. Can't get it wrong. That's what the editing process is. Yep, I agree. Tybee Island. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time. And it wasn't that far away from us, so didn't take too much. We also only had 1 kid, so it was a lot easier to just get up and go. Now, a little more planning. It requires a little more planning. Jermaine says, question 3. Jermaine is loaded. Let's go. How do you honestly feel about that pitch? Have you landed any paid placements or been added to a top tier library like Soundstripe, etc.? I have not personally gotten any placements, sync placements through that pitch yet. I've only gotten music placed in libraries. So I have to wait and see. I'm you know, I got some quite a few tracks in there, so seeing what happens. I've been sending a lot of my solo piano, ambient piano, I think some lo-fi stuff there. So I'm curious to see what happens as well. So as soon as I get an update on that, I'll update you guys, and then we'll figure it out together. Flair says, my first ever sync was for Audi, but in my experience, a lot of the top brands ask for super quick customs for high money. Practice working fast and become a go-to for turning in customs. Love that. Thanks for that input, Flares. I think that was responding to Jason's question about trying to, get in with the ad stuff. So appreciate the input on that. The library is from the UK, but not sure if the show is too hot to handle. Oh yeah, I have some stuff on there as well. I don't know. It might have. We probably got the same placements on the same season, so I don't know. I don't think I've seen any royalties from that show yet. But I have seen the cue sheet. So yeah, I think we're both waiting on some stuff from that show. G5 is in the building. What's up, G5? WR Keys, I see you. Do you have students who focus on submitting their own sound instead of writing to briefs? I tried doing sports music pack to submit, but it felt forced and killed my creative vibe. It's a great question. So yes. So a TV placement mastery student, Mike, he was like, he's a producer, but he also has an artist brand, right? So when we were working through TV Placement Mastery, trying to get him his first sync publishing deal within 90 days, we came up with the game plan of, I think we were doing orchestral hip hop for him. And it was interesting because like how we ended up, like one of the publishers that reached out, but it was like in an unintentional way. So he submitted the playlist of the orchestral stuff, but then in his signature, he just had his artist stuff just in the signature by default. And the publisher had like listened to the orchestra stuff, but then they also went to the signature and like listened to his artist stuff, which was like a different vibe. And they actually liked that stuff as well and wanted to do a deal with some of that stuff. So that ended up working out for him. And by the time he finished those 12 weeks in TV Placement Mastery, he had like multiple publishing deals like within 90 days. And at least one of those deals was thanks because he had that artist stuff in his profile. So it can definitely work. It all boils down to if a particular publisher needs that sound and what that sound is. Now, there are some sounds that just may not be a huge need for. So it may take longer to like gain traction and things like that. But I like to say, like, see if you can find something that is at least close to something that you like to do that doesn't feel forced, and marry that with something that is also in demand or something that you'll see a lot of, because you don't want it to be forced. Because if they hit you back like, oh yeah, like give us 10 more of these, and you're like, bruh, I do not feel like making a bunch of these. So yes, I have had students, get stuff signed just based off of their own sound that they built, and it was not even originally intended for sync. So yeah, shout out to everybody and TV Placement Mastery students. If you want to get like one-on-one coaching and mentorship from me and fast track your process to your next sync publishing deal, go to tvplacementmastery.com, fill out the application, and if it's a good fit, we'll reach out and we'll have the team hop on a call with you and see what you're struggling with, see how we can help you, see if the program would be a good fit. But I only work with like usually in between 5 to 8 producers a quarter. So get your app in, And if there's any slots available, we'll reach out. Otherwise, you may be waiting. LW says, now you have 7 kids. You got jokes, LW. No, I do not have 7 kids. I only have 3. But that's it. I think we're gonna slow down. I think we're just gonna keep it at 3. 3 is plenty. Yeah, it definitely seemed like we were having kids like every year though. It was just like, yo, production music albums, baby. Production music albums, baby. It was just we were just flowing. We were knocking it out, being productive on all levels over here. I'm telling you. All right, Wi-Fi went down on me. Uh-oh. I feel your pain. Tapping in. Much love, everyone. Just remember, it's a marathon in the sync space. Keep pushing. That's a fact. 100%. Would you go over the cue sheets? I sort of know, but would love more info. So cue sheets are like, matter of fact, let's pull up a cue sheet. While we're at it, let me show y'all what a cue sheet. Well, it's kind of tricky because it has like people's names. I don't know if people be wanting their names and stuff on these internets. But basically, I'll like. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what it shows. Yeah, it has a bunch of people's names. So anyway, so a cue sheet it shows like information on all the music that was used on the episode. So it'll have like the show title, it'll have episode title, it'll have the program type, like if it's a TV series or, you know, whatever, movie, film, whatever. And then inside the cue sheet, it'll have like the song or the work title. It'll have the type of usage. It'll have the duration, and then it'll have everybody's name, and then all the publishers' names, and then the, you know, societies, the PROs, and all that stuff listed on a cue sheet. So any particular cue, like any episode, right? So let's look at this catfish show. So I'll show it, and then I'll just scroll fast so that you don't see people's. So like this is this episode of Catfish, and this is like, these are all the cues. So it's like 60 something, 69 pieces of music used on that one episode. And that's a cue sheet. So like for every episode, now every PRO won't like show you a cue sheet. Some do, some don't. But I like the ones that do. Shout out to CSAC. Shout out to ASCAP. But yeah, I mean, this is why I always tell producers, like, yo, if you can just get to your first placement and get you some cue sheets are cheat codes, because they literally list all the publishers. And then publishers, writers, if there's like a publisher you're curious about, Pink Shark cues on here. There's a writer, yo, you can reach out to the writer. Yo, I seen you on a cue sheet of some music we had placed on this episode. And it's not weird, because it's not like you're asking for a handout. You got the placement, like, so you're like reaching out. Hey, I seen you also have some music on this show. What's your experience been with Pink Shark music? And then you guys start a conversation. Now you got some insight, and they're not gonna be weirded out because you've already shown that you can do the work. So it's an easy cheat code to like more publishers. So get to the first placement. Come on, like, I know it's not easy. That first one is the roughest one, man. Like, but if you can get there, get through that rough phase to that first placement, things will start to open up for you. So yeah. What sounds, instruments should you focus on using when wanting to do hip hop, sync music, and or R&B? You know what? It can kind of be open. I mean, just do what feels good. Like, obviously, you don't want to, like, it depends. I mean, listen, these needs can be so broad. Like, I've worked on like 90s hip hop briefs, 90s and 2000s R&B. So I can't say don't use dated sounds, because if the brief is calling for dated sounds, like, now's the time to use those sounds. Now's the time to pull out the Rolands and the, you know, all the vintage sounds and gears and you know, all that stuff. It depends on what's needed. But if it's something current, you know, use sounds that are current. Get as high. When it comes to like the orchestral sounds and the like the brass and the strings, I feel like that's the stuff that you want to spend some money on when you can, because you can instantly spot out like some cheesy strings and horns. Like, especially if you're trying to go for like some cinematic stuff, man, they'll call that stuff out. So that would be like one of the first places I would like spend some money. Other little synth stuff, like you can tweak some synths and beef those up with plugins and stuff like that. But it is really hard to get some very, very like out of the box stock Pro Tools strings, Avid strings to sound to sound good. So like that's the stuff I would you know, pay more attention to. Everything else, man, it's just like, yo, make it sound good and not ear piercing with the high EQs on the high ends and stuff like that. And drums, like you want solid drums, especially for hip hop stuff. You want your drums to hit. So yeah, drums and orchestral sounds. Invest in those. So yeah, we got 4, 7, 4. Yeah, hey, listen, hey, we got room for 4 in patience. I mean, for 7. 4, yeah, 4 is a solid number too. Chris Butler knows. Chris got 4. My wallet said that was enough. Listen, that grocery trip and the way these boys eat, bro, like, my son, like, he'll eat dinner, eat dessert, and then come right back like, still hungry, Dad. I'm like, bro, like, how? You ate as much as I ate. You had dessert. You had snacks throughout the day. They just don't stop. They don't stop eating. And the scary part is, he's not even like teenager yet. This dude is 6. It's gonna get crazy. Like, I gotta get more placements to feed this dude, because when he's a teenager, matter of fact, no, he needs to come in here and start making his own beats and getting his own placements. Because when he's a teenager, I'm not gonna be able to afford to feed him. He's eating up the royalty checks, eating up the fees and everything. Have you branched off a bit more in Ableton Live? Just curious, because I know that you were dabbling a bit. Man, gee, I haven't, man. I see videos and I want to sometimes. I'm like, that's so cool. That's so dope. Like, just the manipulation. But I haven't. I just haven't. I'm just really loving the flow of Logic right now, and I'm in the middle of projects too. So when I'm in the middle of stuff, I'm usually locked in for that time. Like I think it's like the end of the year and like the beginning of the year, when things kind of slow down around the holidays. That's when I start playing around with stuff. But man, once things pick up, I'm like, whatever DAW I'm locked in on, that's where I'm at for a while. Jason says, would you say that cue sheets are good to find publishers to reach out to since they are getting placed? Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, they're getting placed. So it's just like, that takes the guesswork out of if they're working, if they're getting music, if they're like active, you know what I mean? So, and if you keep seeing the same ones like over and over again, then you really know, like, okay, they putting in a lot of work. So Get that first placement. Korg Triton sounds. Yep. XP80. It's classic. Yep. Oh, the LE. I remember the LE. I hate the keys on that thing, the key bed, but yeah, definitely some classic sounds in there. I like the way the keys feel, and I get it. Like it wasn't like it was like the more affordable version before you get to like the Triton Extreme and like the full blown Triton, but I like the feel of the you know, the regular Triton and the Triton Extreme. Those keys felt good. I would say battery is a good starter if your drum library is limited. Yeah, eating the royalties, man, it's crazy. We got to get them in here, man. Start building, but no, seriously, like I need to do that. Like I legit I need to get them like registered with these PROs, and what I want to do is just start making them like co-writers on a bunch of stuff. And like, can you imagine if they start earning royalties from their music like now, right? And just let it just keep adding to their catalog. Yo, by the time they reach my age, you're talking like 30 years of just royalty stacking. So I got to get on that. We got to make that happen. Like that'll be insane. What kind of headphones do you use, and do you have a favorite pair or brand? So currently, what are these? Sennheiser HD 400 Pros. I love these. I've been using these for a couple years. They're so soft. It has like this velvety. This is not a sponsored ad at all. But Sennheiser, like, reach out to your boy, because these are like some of the most comfortable headphones. They're open back, so they're cool for mixing. Like if I have to mix in headphones, I like that. You don't really get a lot of ear fatigue, and they're just so this right here. Woo! I'm telling you, the velvet. I don't know what material. I don't know if it's velvet or not, but it's comfortable. These are some of the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. So I like these. It seems like they'll last for a long time too. And then you got the removable cable, which is always good, because if the cable shorts out, you don't have to buy a whole new set of headphones. This just turned into a headphone review video. So I like that. I like any headphone I get, like I definitely want removable headphones. I also have hold on, let me grab these. I got some other little saucy joints. I got these. These are the ones I'll have with me like in the backpack on the go. These V-Modas. They sent me these and they allowed me to customize them with my I make music, not excuses slogan on there. So these are cool too. Pretty comfortable, detachable headphone joint. And if I had to choose between mixing on these versus mixing on these, I'd rather mix on these. But I like these because they're so portable and they just fold up. They got a little case. So like, you know, if I got my iPad and all that stuff, like my just kind of to-go thing, I'll probably have these with me. So those are like the travel joints, but if I'm in studio, I'm using these Sennheisers 100%. Larry Bradshaw says, I'm actually multitasking, doing my taxes while listening to the podcast. Kind of glad I don't have to input that info for placements yet. Clint, I think you skipped my question though. Did I skip it? Drop it in the chat. I might have missed it. I got some tax stuff I need to finish up myself. Matter of fact, I'm out. I'll see y'all later. No, I'm just playing. I'm gonna finish this stream. But yeah, I gotta wrap that stuff up. It's so annoying. Like, it's so annoying. I don't care how organized you get. It's taxes. All right, let me see. Let me catch up. Shout out to the multitaskers. In regards to drums, Battery 4, Addictive Drums. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're dropping gems. XP80 keys felt. Oh man, they were amazing. Like the XP80, man. Some of the best keys I felt. Like XP80, Yamaha Motif. Hands down, like my two two favorite. Now with the Motif, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. For my my Motif lovers, I felt like the feel of, we're talking the weighted keys, 88, the feel of the classic Motif weighted keys, the ES, those two felt different than when what was the next Motif that came out? It was, what was it? Was it the XF? I can't remember. But whatever that next model is, it felt different to me. Maybe because it was so new, I don't know. But I prefer the feel of the classic Motif, or maybe even the ES, than whichever one came after that. I haven't played any of the new ones lately because I switched to a MIDI controller and everything was just in Logic, so I was like, it'll be a while before I ever buy another keyboard. But yeah, I heard Native Instruments was the best play for film and TV because all sound samples are already clear. Is this true? Yeah, I mean, when you start getting into like, I don't know, like loops and stuff, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, as far as the sounds, like the sound libraries, like the sample libraries, for like strings and stuff, yeah, I mean, you're good to go. I mean, you get complete and you pretty much got everything you need, at least to start with. Do you still sequence your drums with your iPad and Sidecar? That was a power gem. It wasn't even Sidecar, bro. Like, it was just the Logic remote. You connect. So if you have Logic on your computer, you got an Apple computer, and you got the iPad, I just pull up Logic remote and can literally like program the drums right from Logic remote. It was dope. But yeah, I've definitely done that. Another reason why I've been in Logic, man, just like the workflow has just been amazing. So yeah. Frank, what's up, Frank? Got some AKG 240s. Yes, I got some of those as well. I actually like those. I like the AKG 240s. The volume is low, but for mixing, I got some pretty accurate mixes. I would definitely like to have some type of audio interface or some type of headphone amp with those, but those are good. They are not comfortable long periods of time though. They start to hurt my ear. That hard play. The ones I have, I think you can get like different cushions or something, but the ones I have, boy, that plastic is hard and uncomfortable. Let's see. I have a Beyer Dynamics DT 770s 80s since 2020. Haven't had the need to buy new ones. Dope. Still using the classic Sony MDR 7506 Clint Marshall. I know, right? Orchestral go-tos. Shoot. Session strings. the brass, I forget exactly what it's called, brass essentials or something like that. Those are kind of, it depends on what kind of horns I'm going for too. So it may be like the orchestral brass essential kind of thing, or brass element, or orchestral elements. I forget exactly what it's called. But if I want something where it's just like horn, like live horns or something like that kind of vibe, then I'll do like session horns for something like that. But yeah, man, that Motif 8 it's amazing. So yeah, TuneEdge hit me up today with submission approval for an opportunity. If I wasn't totally satisfied with it, can I correct what I didn't like, or is that submission final once it's been approved? So from what I hear, I have an inside source that is giving me confidential information, but from what I hear, you will open up a can of complications if you try and pull out what got accepted and give them a new version. From what I hear, I don't know if it's been addressed or not, but listen, if they accepted it, hey, that's it. It's yours. I'm not gonna go back and change anything. And I would just leave it at that. But you can also hit them up and they'll let you know if it's something, you just give them a different version. Completely up to you. I feel you. But yeah. So, yeah, man. We kind of geeked out on the gear. But yeah, these headphones I've been happy with. I got some other ones in there somewhere that I was using for a while. Those aren't bad as well. I forget the name of them though. But yeah, those, and then the AKGs hanging up back there. Man, I haven't used those in it's probably been almost a decade. Those are like the ones I'll pull out if I got somebody in here recording something. I'll give them those. I'll give them the uncomfortable ones. Nah, but yeah, man, I've been really happy with these Sennheisers. You know which ones I wanted though? Some years back, I wanted those Qs, those Quincy Jones joints. I think that was a collaboration with AKG, right? They just looked fire. Like I was like, I just want them because they look amazing. I tell you what, I will absolutely not mix on is some Beats. Throw those in the trash for mixing, anyways. If you're just walking around, just want to listen to something, whatever. But I had one pair. Yeah, I had one pair of Beats. I haven't bought another pair since. Those things tore up so quick. I was just like, what is this? What is the hype? I think I had like something like the newer ones. Like I feel like when they were Monster, I feel like they were built better. But I couldn't afford them back then. But then when I was able to afford them, I got like the newer version that was like, I missed out on the golden years of Beats apparently. So that's it. Listen, after this, we're about to transition and do live music reviews. We're gonna listen to music from producers inside the Sync Producer Hub community, and I'm excited because they be dropping some fire in there. So if you're on YouTube, stick around. If you're in the community, you guys have the link. We're gonna see if your music is ready for TV and film. For those who don't know how to get your music placed in TV and film, click the link. It's pinned in the chat. Join Sync Producer Hub. Learn how to produce, prepare, and pitch placement-ready music for TV, so your music isn't sitting on your computer collecting digital dust, and then you're not making any money from it, and the only people who hear it is you and your best friends and your family members. So yeah, if you want to actually do something with this, I recommend TV and film. I think it's pretty cool. You get to maintain privacy and do whatever you want to do. So that's it, man. I'm out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.